Hi, today I wanted to go over Follie here. This is just going to be a bit more in-depth version of the video I posted yesterday. So basically for Archon shards, we're just using these two Tau Forged Purple Equilibrium shards. Other three shards are up to you. If you want to run casting speed, if you want to run more ability strength for some reason, if you want to run more duration, if you want to do parkour, energy on spawn, any shards you want work with this. This is the build here. So this build, basically, the way it works is Null Stars applies, or I guess it sort of like primes enemies to be activated using Enkaus's passive ability here. So basically, this passive ability is when enemies are inked, which they will constantly be via R3. When they drop below 35% health, Enkaus instantly dissolves them. So it kind of just instantly, it goes up to like, it shows a red crit with 3 exclamation points and it insta-kills them. And basically, the way it works is if a group of enemies are primed with Null Stars while you have Enkaus, and all those enemies get below 35% health, which we will be doing via the Explosive Barrel, if you shoot one of them, it'll cause the Dissolve to trigger for all of them, and even though this is not a chaining beam or an AoE weapon, it will just instantly delete an entire group of enemies. Now to note, yesterday I posted a video in the Simulacrum. It happens fairly consistently in the Simulacrum. In actual missions, half the time, enemies are not all heavy gunners, crafted heavy gunners, so the barrel kind of just kills enemies a lot of the time. But either way, you're either insta-killing a group of enemies with this, or you're insta-killing them with the barrels. But yeah, either way, build still destroys huge groups of enemies. This is the build, going for max range for R3. Have decent duration. We also have augmented so that we can get up to 199% strength. You need, I believe it's 181, 182% strength, something like that, to get the max damage reduction out of self-portrait. So with that 90% plus 75%, we have 97.5% damage reduction. With our 1170 health, it gives us about 45,000 EHP. We heal that up via our Panzer Volpaphyla with Hunter Recovery here. Other mods, I obviously highly suggest Synth Deconstruct, Reinforced Tenacious Bond, and then Panzer Devolution and Viral Quills. That's because in Devolution it still shoots Viral Quills and still activates Hunter Recovery. Besides that, here are the claws. And yeah, other weapons do not matter. But yeah, even mods on this weapon do not matter, so if you just want to run a completely base, not unlock the whatever reactor catalyst, and you don't want to unlock Arcane slot, you don't have to. This build works without any mods, as it just relies on the passive here. I just threw on some mods, because might as well. But yeah, also, once I do fully build, I plan on using, obviously that's why I have Arcane Hotshot. We just have Neutron Star here with Arcane Vitality, since we were doing health tanking anyways. This makes it so Null Star does heat. This doubles that heat damage, and then this gets us basically consistently up via Null Stars, so we have pretty good crit, 300% additive crit to all of our weapons, including Null Stars itself, I believe. Actually, I'm not sure if that's true. Ignore what I said about Null Stars. I'm not sure. I know that Null Stars is coded as like weapon damage, so like Arachne applies to it, but I never actually looked into if Hotshot applies to it. But yeah, either way, does good stuff. So let's go into a mission here. I'm not actually going to, there is a relic right now, but I'm not actually going to do it, because half the time enemies, I want to show off the sort of interaction, but that was me, not you. And half the time I do this mission on relic missions, as I'm trying to do the barrel stuff, they instantly get immune to corrupted, and then still kills them obviously. The barrel still kills them obviously, but then you don't get to show off the reaction I'm looking for, or the interaction.
The Orican Neural Sentry is attempting to purge you from this place. Stand by for life support.
Like I said, it's either gonna insta-kill enemies via the barrel, or the interaction's actually gonna go off and kill them via that. So we gotta build up our energy here first. This is why I do say you can go for those energy fell on spawn shards, as getting our energy up at the start here can be a bit tedious. Let's get our portrait up so we can ink the enemies, meaning we can get more health orbs to drop. Or health and energy orbs, I should say. There we go. Okay, perfect. So got a group of enemies, spawned the barrel. Barrel instantly blew up. And it didn't work. There we go. So as you saw there, this is a non-chaining beam, or yeah, non-chaining weapon. But even though it's a non-chaining weapon, a group of enemies still died to the passive going off. Honestly, the best way this would work is if you could shoot like an enemy through the barrel or shoot the barrel behind an enemy first. Yeah, as you can see, enemies either just insta-die via the barrel or the interaction actually goes off, but after this I'll go to the simulacrum so you can see like the interaction in the best case scenario with picking enough enemies to survive the barrel. Also, still getting used to the aiming. I notice half the time when I'm aiming for her too, the barrel or whatever I'm trying to place goes like halfway across the map from where I'm trying to aim it. But yeah, this is basically it. Every once in a while the interaction goes off, but it's not too often. There we go, happened that time. Now, if you can get a group of enemies low enough with just Null Stars and just sort of your Panzer, you can also, you don't need the barrel. So this very much is, oh, looks like I'm getting attacked by these guys. Maybe these guys will be tanky enough to survive it. But yeah, so any other frame that can have, has like an ability that can do like around like 80% of a group of enemies' health at a time, and like a big area, you could also sort of just put Null Stars and Enkaus on them, and it would similarly do this. I just use it with Follie as the barrels were sort of the initial thing that I thought of. Oh, better counter at that time. But yeah. As see, funnily enough, the tankier the enemy is, the better this actually works. So, at lower levels here, and with sort of just normal guys, does not trigger too often. But like I said, either way, still blows up groups of enemies, whether the interaction is going off or not. Cold barrels are the best way to trigger it, as blast barrels typically just insta-kill everything, and with gas barrels you do have to sort of perfectly time it in order for it to work, or else enemies, you'll either hit the enemies too soon or too late, and they will just die without it.
The sentient has detected you. Fighters incoming.
And I keep getting either blast or gas. There's a cold one. There, kind of worked that time, but yeah. I'm gonna leave this, we'll go into the simulacrum so I can show you off a sort of a best case scenario with it. So yeah, I'm trying to think of other frames that do a decent AoE. Like ability damage thing that does not technically one-shot them. I guess there's Sevagoth, if you could do it with Sevagoth, but make it so his Reap and Sow doesn't actually one-shot, but just does like 80% of damage. And then you would just prime him with Null Stars. That could work. But yeah, so let's get our thing up. Do R4. Put down the barrel, shoot the barrel. Well, as you can see, it went off there just via the barrel. Exploding set it off, so. Let the gas subside. But yeah, as you can see, when they're sort of grouped up like this, it works much better. And here, even though, so you can see it's not just shreds shooting through the enemies, I'll actually use the version of this without any mods. Actually, the more I've been using this, I feel like the more consistent it is when you don't actually use mods on it, funnily enough. Oh, let's see. And with gas here, that's why gas isn't good. It kind of makes it a very weird timing. Ah, there we go, yeah. And that's like an example of it with cold there. So it does kind of suck that you're almost reliant on getting cold barrels, but at the same time, like I said before, if you're not getting cold barrel, you're either getting a blast barrel, which insta-kills everything, or you are getting a gas barrel, which also insta-kills everything. So, I mean, basically just makes it a way so that the cold barrels, you can still insta-kill stuff. Oh, there we go. Did it with the gas that time. But yeah, obviously there's ideal conditions. Also, this is Simulacrum. I believe it's not like insanely a much damage difference, but obviously Simulacrum is 500, level 500 base. So this is obviously going to be higher than, obviously these are level 200 enemies, but it's scaling off of level 500. So, but I don't think the damage is that much. It shouldn't really matter. It should still, as you saw on that mission, it still does the same thing. Explosive barrels still one-shot every enemy. Gas barrels still kill enemies within like 2 to 3 ticks, and then cold barrels still trigger the interaction. But yeah, that's basically it for this build. Just sort of wanted to show off a more in-depth version of this interaction. As you can see, it is not super consistent, but again, like I keep saying, when it doesn't go off, it's because the enemies are insta-dying due to the barrel anyway, so yeah. Thank you for watching.